With the transfer window coming up and it looking like Arsenal are willing to sell Thomas Partey in midfield, Arsenal are looking for different midfielders to buy. And one of the main ones that has come to light is Bruno Guimarães from Newcastle United. But why do Arsenal want to sign him over other options? Well, let's get into it. On the face of it, Bruno Guimarães looks like a brilliant option for Arsenal to sign. He's got experience in the Premier League with Newcastle at the highest level and also got European experience with them and Lyon, and has the relative attributes and ability to be able to play in different roles for Arsenal so they can change their plan in-game and throughout the season when he comes in. And with Newcastle not being able to spend as much money because they've been put down out of the Champions League and they need to sell one of their top stars, Bruno Guimarães makes more sense for them to sell than Alexander Isak, who could be a generational striker which are hard to come by. Now, straight away, Bruno Guimarães will probably play as an 8, I think predominantly for Arsenal. This will move Rice back into the 6 role, which is his best role, even though he has excelled at the 8. But Bruno Guimarães can also be used in different ways, which we explore later in the video. At Newcastle, Bruno Guimarães' role is very much like a box-to-box midfielder. Going forward, he is very good, and defensively, he shows a lot of promise. Straight away going forward, you can see his ability as he has one of the most through balls in the league, only behind a select few players. Of course, Martin Odegaard is in there. And this also lines up with his goal-creating actions. He's created 17 goal-creating actions this season, and from his 8 role, he is bringing the ball forward from deep, getting his team into space and chances. He shows the necessary intensity on that left side, and it's almost like a better version of Curtis Jones at Liverpool, where he can be very aggressive when teams try to play out and get his team the ball quicker in the final third. But he also can do it deeper, being able to pick the ball up and run through tackles and players going towards him to bring players around him and keep the team in possession at all times. This is backed up by the fact he has around 7.42 progressive passes per 90, which is a really high level, and he's making around 1 to 2 progressive carries per game. He prefers a pass but isn't afraid to run if he needs to. And with a shot creating actions of around 3.79 per 90, he is in the Newcastle team creating the most through balls and the most chances per game, while he is capable of putting the ball in behind for his team. This can be useful for Arsenal in many different ways. They could get that deep line playmaking role where Bruno Guimarães can play long balls from deep, trying to get the wingers in behind, and he has shown good progression to the wingers when he is on his side. If you were to put Bruno on the left side into the 8 role, then he can actually find and progress the ball like Xhaka did to Martinelli, who can get the one-on-ones that he wants. With Bruno's pace and due diligence in midfield, he brings players around from him and he can be close on Martinelli, winning the ball back and getting Arsenal on the counter-attack. It's also with his ability to switch to play brilliantly and find the other side of the pitch from deep, can help give some of the creative burdens off of Odegaard. Bruno Guimarães isn't going to have straight creative natural numbers, but when the given opportunity is there, he can win the ball back and quickly create something for the team. This leaves Odegaard not to do as much, as I don't think he is naturally a creating monster and can actually play as a bit of a double 8 with Bruno Guimarães, both picking and choosing when they want to actually push up. And with the fact he's in the top 1% of players in the Premier League making through balls this season at 0.7 per game, he could be a brilliant option of making them through balls even to Saka or to Martinelli that some of the other attacking players won't have, such as Declan Rice, who is good with progressing with the ball but doesn't have the passing range that Bruno has. And defensively in this role, he could also be great. He could always move into a double pivot with someone like Rice, who is deeper, and this shows because of his brilliant duels that he has won this year. He has actually won the most duels in the Premier League, having 241, and he has won the most fouls, getting fouled 92 times. He often is very aggressive and very good in a tackle from deep, and he can pick the ball up and run and create a good counter-attacking opportunity and get Newcastle on the break quickly. And although he is not the main guy that is going to make all the tackles, he makes around 2 a game and makes around 1.41 blocks per 90, while also making around 6.4 ball recovery. So there's definitely something there that you can see in the future with his defensive stats maybe getting better under a more solid team or a different role. And with him being so successful on his take-ons, being successful around 2 and making around 3 per game, which is a lot, and having a carrying distance of 278 meters this season, it's clear that he is really good at running with the ball from deep and getting his team up the pitch, even winning fouls or being quick with it. I think this can really help Arsenal have a bit of cutting edge to them and be a bit more quicker in transition, because at the moment they are too slow, and as much as they have done a great job to improve that this season, being quicker would definitely benefit players like Martinelli, who can make quicker decisions in 1v1s or 2v2s on the break. Now, I feel like Arsenal will try and do some crazy tactics again, and I think Bruno Guimarães is another way that they can do that, with the fact that they might play him as the 6 as well. Bruno is very much more defensive than you're going to see lots of players be, such as Lucas Paquetá, who's also been linked. And I believe in a better defensive structure and team with better players around him, he's probably going to be able to do a lot more tackles and help the team a lot more progressing it up the pitch. And with Arsenal's creativity, they not necessarily need someone to also create so much. They just need to get a bit more progression to the left winger and be able to overlap him. And with his naturally good tackling numbers, I think that Arsenal could also play him as a 6 by himself sometimes. Obviously, you would get the double pivot with maybe Timber inverting from left back or right back, wherever he's going to play, or Ben White or someone like Odegaard or Rice coming deeper. This is because I believe that Arsenal may try to use Declan Rice in a bit of the John Stones role from last season. Now, this is a very specific role that has to be someone that is very good at defending, but a very good roamer and on the ball as well, and Declan Rice could definitely do that. This is when the player would usually in a formation start at right back, maybe what we saw Partey do, and he comes infield to become the additional midfielder in the build-up phase. He can drift forward to create a box midfield, then once again overload the opposition and go and help this team wherever he wants to. As you can see by an instance here of John Stones' pass map, he is basically just running around passing the ball where he wants and trying to help the team and overloads the press at any given moment. This can create good opportunities where players have to go towards him, and then it gives good space out wide, which obviously also could help the wingers that they need desperately. But he also could come into the middle and even play through balls through to the attacking players, or still be able to quickly switch it, helping the team in any given moment. And this role is basically when Arsenal don't have sustained possession, which they do most games, he will move more into the defensive position and try and be a 1v1 defender in even right back or left back, or then in possession, which they have most of the time, will act as another midfielder, supporting the other players and being able to roam, having Bruno Guimarães in this situation as the 6 behind him, sweep it up and being able to progress the ball that way. Now, although you could definitely get someone else who could play that 6 role in this situation, I think because Bruno's got very good mobility and is very good at progressing and running with the ball, it could help Arsenal get up the pitch quicker and also have the ball a lot more often with his brilliant pass and range. Bruno to me can be a very similar player to Xhaka in that way, as the safe option as the 8 left centre mid, but can also be tried in this new role when you want to experiment maybe against lesser sides in the league. And ultimately, the reason why Arsenal want to sign Bruno is because it will help the players, especially on the wing, get the ball in space, and will help Arsenal be a better transitional team and probably be a much more physical team with the duels that he wins. He fits everything that a sort of Mikel Arteta player would want, and considering Arsenal are probably going to go out of their way this summer to sign ready and proven players for their team, 26 years old, 27 at the end of this year, he definitely fits the age range of the rest of the starting team and has many years left in him still. I believe Arsenal should have signed this player when he was available for 40 mil when Newcastle did, but we didn't take the opportunity then. And even if this deal costs 60 to 70, maybe even 90 to 100 mil, which I don't think it will, Arsenal probably feel like this is the best player to get, given his experience as well in the Premier League. And with the recent reports of him being one to watch for Arsenal this summer, and Arsenal are very much interested in the player by credible sources, it's definitely one to look out for in the coming months, and this is why I think he would be great for Arsenal. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this signing, or if Arsenal should make it, and let me know what you think about the player as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.